Exciting IHRA drag racing coming up this afternoon, and who do we look for? Well, Larry, we got a couple of drivers who are in streaks this year.
It really has been, Bob, a season of streaks. It's also been a season of speeds, lots of new records in that area. But in Pro Funny Cars, Dale Pauldie and IHRA has won those 4 in a row that Bernstein referred to. And by the way, if anybody can beat Pauldie, it's probably going to be Bernstein. That's been his nemesis over the last couple of years. Bruce Allen has shown tremendous improvement going over to the rear and Morrison car, and he's running on a streak of 3 in a row.
Our regular pit reporter for IHRA races is again with us this afternoon. Marty Reid is with one of those drivers who hopes to continue his streak this weekend.
Believe it or not, this is not the lobby of a hotel. This is the lounge area of Dale Pauldie's transporter. The race car travels just about 20 feet away from us. And Dale, this is the appropriate place for us to be talking, because right now you're in control of everything in the IHRA World Championship points race. You've won 4 races in a row, and you're 1 shy of Raymond Beadle's all-time mark of 18 career victories in IHRA competition.
Right now it's a pretty comfortable position, because it's always harder for the group to catch up to you when you're a little bit ahead. Our Miller Buick is looking pretty strong for us right now. We run 561 on our first qualifying shot here yesterday, which is a new IHRA record. If we can back it up with a 567 or better, it'll give us a few more points. And I think we're going to be able to do pretty good here.
Question is there anybody who can beat Dale Pauldie?
There's plenty of them out there. The Mark Oswalds, the Kenny Bernsteins, the John Lombardos and the Blue Max. They're all tough competitors. We've just had our act together. The guys have done their homework this year. Bill Schultz, Mike Klober, Randy Green, and Mike Hamby, they've all done their job this year. It's worked out very well, and we've had a pretty good amount of luck.
All I can say is keep your eye on the Miller Warrior Buick, because it will be thundering down the track, I guarantee it.
Thank you, Marty. You know, there's always an element of danger associated with any form of motorsports, and Ron Corretti found out just how dangerous drag racing can be in an earlier run.
Bob will see the final 8 in each classification, but here's Corretti on the right-hand side of your screen. You see him there blowing a gasket. Hot oil comes from the engine and sprays over the top of an already steaming engine. It ignites. Now, Corretti is down inside the car, the belts and the bars. A few anxious milliseconds here. Where is Corretti? Where is Corretti? He's not out of the car. The flames are erupting. It's a San Francisco-type fire. And finally, out of the top, out of the escape hatch, Corretti is out, rolls onto the ground. A very lucky man. No injury, Bob.
He is indeed lucky to have escaped that blazing race car. Well, today's IHRA Summer Nationals are being brought...
And all of a sudden, it's all in pieces.
Yeah, we kicked the rod out about half track, and it was uncontrollable. I've never seen anything like it. It just caught on fire. Must have got on the headers or something. Hot oil got on the headers, and it's a shame.
You're okay, though?
I'm fine, yeah.
Are you going to be able to put anything back together to make the show?
Oh, no. It's a mess. We don't have another body with us. We're going to have to renew the whole deal. It's history.
Well, Ron Corretti's afternoon is over, but here are the quarter-finalists in the Pro Funny Car division. Jim Head will be in our first race.
We're definitely struggling this year. We're trying a lot of new things, and some of them are paying off and some of them aren't. We're learning a lot. We have yet to put it together for what I'd call a real perfect race. Hopefully this will be the one.
Jim Head will be in the far lane here in this first round of competition. He is 36 years old from Columbus, Ohio. His opponent in the near lane, in the old Milwaukee Candies and Hughes Pontiac Trans Am, Mark Oswald from right here in Cincinnati. He's the defending IHRA Winston Pro Funny Car World Champion.
Oswald has had a season sort of like Head's. He really hasn't put it together either. You know, he was the defending champion, or is the defending champion this year. Last year, he was the leading money winner. He won over $155,000. He's actually second in terms of dollars won so far this year, but he has yet to win a race. He's 0-for-1 in IHRA competition.
So Mark Oswald will be competing in front of his hometown fans, and we asked him earlier about the pressure that's on him because of that.
Yeah, I've lived here all my life. You know, with the way we travel around, I very seldom get to race here. It's now that IHRA brought this race here in town, you know, it makes it nice.
Mark Oswald set to go in the near lane, Jim Head in the far lane. These are the quarterfinals in the IHRA Summer Nationals from Cincinnati, Ohio. In the far lane, Jim Head has the advantage all the way down, and he defeats Mark Oswald.
Well, both of them had been a little bit out of shape, particularly at the beginning of the run. There's Head. You see him celebrating his almost 240-mile-an-hour run, but more importantly, he moves one step up on the ladder.
And the replay, Larry, will show both drivers just out of shape slightly, but at the line, it's Jim Head with the victory.
Well, when that happens, momentum really drags you down, and I think what happened in that particular case is that Head just had a little bit of the advantage of recovering quicker than his competitor.
He moves into the semifinals. In the first round, a bit of an upset as Paul Smith defeated Tom the Mongoose McEwen.
Boynton Beach, Florida driver has never won an IHRA's final, and he's got to really be surprised himself that he was able to pull this one off.
Well, Paul Smith has some great competition here in this round. His opponent will be Kenny Bernstein.
We wish we were running better, obviously, in the last two races on the IHRA circuit, but we still haven't given up the Winston Championship over here, and we're not out of it yet. There's a lot of time left, but we're going to step it up this weekend, and so I think if you got to say pressure, this would be one that we've got to put it together and win.
Kenny Bernstein, the first Pro Funny Car driver to break the 260-mile-an-hour barrier, going 260.11 in March of last year. And his opponent will be Paul Smith, a 38-year-old from Boynton Beach, Florida. Smith will be in the custom-body Dodge Daytona, and Bernstein, of course, in the Budweiser King 4-Tempo.
Now, Bernstein may have been the pioneer over 260 miles an hour, but he hasn't cracked the forest of IHRA yet this year. He is yet to win. Runner-up last night in the Stroh Night of Fire, but he's still looking for his first victory. He's moved up here this afternoon in Cincinnati, but he hasn't come across the line first when the finals have been over yet this year.
Paul Smith, this will be his third IHRA event of the year. He did not enter 3 of the previous races, did, however, compete at Rockingham and at Bristol, Tennessee. There's Kenny Bernstein. He's 40 years old from Dallas, Texas. We're in the quarterfinals. Bernstein in the near lane and Paul Smith in the far lane.
You know, he took some time off from drag racing to concentrate on business a couple years ago, and he came back really full-time last year. And I got to admit, I'm a little surprised at how successful he has been, because the technology has changed so much in recent years that Bernstein seemed to be a little bit behind when the project restarted last year.
You can see the IHRA officials there making sure that the lights are properly aligned so the cars can be staged. Bernstein moving up now to the proper starting line, and we're almost set to go in the quarterfinals here. Smith against Bernstein. Kenny off the line well.
Oh, Smith is in trouble.
And Bernstein has an easy win.
Well, Paul Smith, you saw him getting over that center line, crossing the line of demarcation, or at least coming very close to it. Maybe we can tell in the replay if he actually got over or not, but at that point he realized that his race was over.
As we take a look at the replay, you'll notice that Smith's car crosses the center line, and he backs out of the throttle at that moment, giving Kenny Bernstein the easy win. Bernstein with a 5.734 ET, speed 250.69. Kenny Bernstein moves into the semifinals against Jim Head. More Pro Funny Car activity coming up as we present for you the IHRA Stroh Summer Nationals, and Dale Puldee from Granada Hills, California, set to go in a solo run here this afternoon in the Miller Warrior. He's the winningest active driver on the IHRA circuit, and we asked him earlier about his sponsorships.
We have got a few other prospects. We're going to go first with our Miller High Life situation, see how that all holds out. I think we'll probably be with Miller High Life and Quaker State, and they've both been very good sponsors along with Buick and Champion. So I think next year you'll probably see the Miller High Life name on our car next year. Actually, Miller American Warrior is probably what it'll say.
And I'll tell you, Larry, when you talk about beautiful race cars, you got to mention this one.
Absolutely. He draws the by the way, because not only did he turn in the best time in the qualifications here earlier, but it was the quickest ET in IHRA history, and I think Puldee won this one.
I think he did. 5.759 the ET, 251.39 miles an hour.
Now, of course, it becomes important because he is racing against the clock for lane choice against the fellow competitors.
John Lombardo set to go here against Billy Meyer, and we talked to Lombardo earlier about setting up a winning car.
It's not so much that it's a driver or crew or any particular problem. It's just that we've changed everything in order to run 550s and 560s, and that means you've got to start from scratch and you've got to take your lumps to do it.
John Lombardo from Sherman Oaks, California in the old Milwaukee Light Blue Max Ford Mustang. And his opponent will be Waco, Texas, Billy Meyer in the 711 Chiefs Auto Parts Ford Mustang.
Meyer really has the advantage here. He hasn't had that tremendous season, but little John Lombardo, I suggested he's underneath a lot of pressure, Bob. There you see Meyer in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. He turned a 250-mile-per-hour flat in the first round. Lombardo has taken over from Raymond Beadle, the famous Blue Max old Milwaukee racing team, and he really hasn't shown the success that his mentor, Beadle, has had in this car in years past, at least yet.
Billy Meyer in the near lane against John Lombardo in the far lane. Green light flashes on. Lombardo with the advantage here. Gets out of shape, and Billy Meyer comes on to win.
You know, you shift a couple of times, at least a couple of times, down the course, and Lombardo really had the advantage, at least temporarily there. You saw the car get that extra surge of energy about 2/3 of the way down the strip, but Meyer really came on strong at the end.
And as you can see, it's just about a car length advantage for Billy Meyer and his win over John Lombardo. We have Pro Stock coming up in a few moments. Marty Reid is with Ricky Smith.
1 year ago here at Edgewater Park, Ricky Smith recorded one of his biggest victories ever, beating the late Lee Shepherd. But since then, he has been to victory lane only once. And Ricky, what has been the problem in 1985? You just can't seem to get it to victory circle.
It seemed like a monkey jumped on our back this year, and we run really good. We set the record down, a mile-an-hour record at Rockingham at the first of the year. You know, we had bad tire shakedown right on the start line, and I've never had that in my entire racing career. And then at Bristol, we was running real good, and we got in the semis there, and we lost a clutch. And it's just been something like that. It's just something that's never happened to me before. This has happened to me in eliminations on Sunday this year. We just had 3 or 4 bad incidents, and it's hurt us real bad.
Well, I can guarantee you one thing. What goes around comes around, and Ricky Smith and his crew will find the combination, and it could be this weekend here at Edgewater Park.
And we'll begin our eliminations in the Pro Stock Division quarterfinals right after we take this break.
You know, last year he hadn't been beat all year, and we wanted to beat him bad. And they wanted to win all the races in IHRA last year. So, I mean, when we beat him last year, I was so happy. You know, I just turned loose the steering wheel and went through the finish line, and you could see it on the camera from last year. If I'd wrecked the car, then I probably wouldn't have been too mad, because I was just really happy.
Ricky is 31 years old from King, North Carolina. He drives the Motorcraft Ford Thunderbird. His opponent in this round will be Darrell Alderman from Moorhead, Kentucky, in the Jerry Haas Racing Chevrolet Camaro.
Well, Alderman was the second slowest of the final 8 who've gotten into the last 4 runs in this class here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Professional contractor who made his first finals ever just last year in IHRA.
Alderman only in his 3rd season in Pro Stock Machinery. It's his first full year, however, as driver of this Jerry Haas-owned Camaro. They're out of St. Louis, Missouri. Alderman near lane and Ricky Smith in the far lane. Quarterfinals, Pro Stock, Cincinnati.
Smith is the 82 champion. He says all the bad breaks haven't gotten to him yet. He mentioned that earlier about a month ago, but I don't know. They're beginning to mount up, Bob.
They're even coming off the line. Alderman with a slight advantage midway down. Yeah, it's Alderman.
Alderman, I think, definitely got Smith, and what an upset that is. Ricky Smith struggling to get back some starting that he had back in 1982 and 83. I'll bet he thought he had a win, but Darrell Alderman has pulled it off.
180 miles an hour, 7.610. This was a good race.
And Ricky Smith appears to have done nothing wrong. The car is not bolting off the line. He doesn't look like he's losing any traction. Alderman not quite as smooth, but certainly smooth enough to nose out Smith.
So Alderman moves into the semifinals, getting set to go now. Bob Glidden against Billy Ewing, and we asked Bob Glidden about the domination of Bruce Allen this year.
Bruce has stepped into the shoes, and they fit rather well. He hasn't had the big sting yet. No one has come along and beat him soundly 2 or 3 races, but that will happen. Could happen here.
Bob Glidden from Whiteland, Indiana, in the 711 Chief Auto Parts Ford Thunderbird will be in the near lane, and Ewing in the Ewing & Ewing Chevrolet Camaro in the far lane.
Billy Ewing on the right-hand side there, as you see the run roar off. He qualified at 180 miles an hour. That was slower than 15 of the other 16 finalists.
And Glidden with just about a car length win over Ewing, 188.67 the miles per hour.
Glidden came into this particular face-off having turned in the fastest mile-per-hour qualifying run at almost 188 miles an hour. It was third best in terms of time.
There you can see just about a car-length win over Billy Ewing, so Bob Glidden also moves into the semifinals. And we'll be back with more of the IHRA Stroh Summer Nationals from Cincinnati, Ohio in just a moment.
A loser in second round with a 766. The car just not able to get down the track.
Well, the car went down the track fairly good. I messed up on driving. You know, we got a computer in the car, and I come back and played it over, and it showed me. I pulled second gear way early, and I pulled third gear early, but it should have come back, but it didn't. You know, I messed up on driving, I think.
Well, I know a lot of guys that wouldn't say that publicly, that it was their fault and not the car's.
Well, I admit when I do something wrong. You can ask my boys. If I do something wrong, I tell them. You know, on this computer, it definitely tells you. So there's no doubt. I messed up.
Good luck next time out.
Thank you.